So, welcome to the Deep Dive into Death, episode 13. I'm your host, Malia Bayich. This episode is The Young and the Restless, the things no one tells you about the dying. And of course, you can find my work over here on findingrealm.com and on YouTube, X, and Substack. So, let's begin. So, dying people are fascinating, amusing even, and not in a disrespectful way, but in a deeply human way. The things they want to talk about, the things they absolutely do not want to talk about, the negotiations, the boundaries, the very specific use of their remaining energy. And for me, in this particular moment, I was trying very hard to be mindful of everybody's feelings. But we have to pause for a moment with a bit of a smile. Because if you've ever loved someone who's dying, and you've probably done at least of one of the following things. And if you're dying, you may relate even more. So I was working with a woman's two friends who desperately wanted to come and say goodbye. One friend listed her credentials like she was applying for a sacred visitation license. I've known her since 1972. We went through everything together. I deserve one last visit. I do Reiki. I died and come back. I know what it's like. They kicked me out. The dying woman looked at me and said, "Her energy is way too much." And just like that, no spiritual bypass, no softening, no guilt. How could she possibly know my experience? She continued. Even if she's died before and is still alive, we're not the same. Fair point. I've sit in between those phone calls like some kind of end of life operator. Can you call so and so and tell her about the weather? She lived 3 blocks away. Do you want to talk to her yourself? I say. No, I just want you to tell her and then tell me what she says. Ah, yes, the sacred art of selective communication. The most important thing in her life right now is not reconciliation, or I guess not right now, then, because she since has died, and not closure, and not even visitors. It's Young and the Restless. Victor Newman had just lost his company from under him, from Phyllis and Billy. And this is urgent. No, she will not take your phone call. It's 2 o'clock, and 2 o'clock is sacred time. It's soap opera hour for her. They promise they'll only take 10 minutes. She knows they won't. What's so important, she asks, that anyone needs to interrupt this? And honestly, she's not wrong. Tell her not to be afraid of dying, one of her other friends tells me to pass along. Trust me, I say gently, she's not afraid. In fact, she's quite peaceful. And she doesn't want the pep talk, she just wants to watch her show. Newman Enterprises is currently at risk, and she is at the end of her life. Both things are very important. What do you think Victor Newman is going to do? She asked me with full sincerity. The nurse walks in. How are you feeling today? Well, Victor just lost everything, so I'm super upset, she says. There's a pause in the room. Oh, who's Victor? And then a full recap of Young and the Restless unfolds. Plot lines, betrayals, corporate sabotage, family dynamics. The nurse nods politely, probably reevaluating her career path. And now, if her friends really wanted her attention, they would speak her language. She spent years listening to their updates, their dramas, their aches, their victories, their crises, and she's at the end of her life, and she would respectfully like to finish her show and then go to sleep. She's busy dying. She tells me, send this email. What should I say? Just tell them I'm alive, peaceful, no pain, short, efficient, informational. They beg to visit. I tell them I'll do my best to negotiate, but she's saving her energy for Y&R. I can come watch it with her, they'll offer. Oh no. She says immediately, they'll talk too much. And she knows they will. Just tell them I'm good and busy and you'll be in touch with them later. Busy. That, I think, is my favorite part. Because even at the threshold of life and death, she's not performing spirituality for anyone. She's not staging a grand farewell. She's not delivering cinematic wisdom. She's choosing what feels right to her. And sometimes what feels right happened to be Victor Newman. And this actually brought me a lot of joy during this time because it was my grandmother's favorite show too when she was alive. So I know the language, I learned the rhythm, and I know when I can ask questions only during commercial break and never during a confrontation scene. That would be disrespectful. Maybe this is why she chose me. So the show ends, she's back to sleeping. Dying doesn't have to be complicated, and it certainly isn't for her. So I think she's quietly amused on watching how I'm trying to navigate her friends. And she keeps one eye slightly open, her head tilts a bit, and she's listening. Tell her this, she whispers, and I become the middleman once again. Her friends, the one who lives 3 blocks away, is actually quite funny. So we end up chatting and laughing together quite a bit over the phone. She told me to deliver a message to you, I say. But she also told me I can't talk long. She wants you to know that she had a Chinese nurse who talked too much, but made it up to her when she sang at the end 2 songs, one in Chinese. It was lovely. And so we both burst into laughter. Tell her that, she says, then tell her you have to go. This is choreography now, strategic communication, and timed affection. Energy budgeting at an elite level. She spent her life accommodating others. So at the end, she's curating, and it's oddly magnificent. She's not interested in spiritual fireworks. She's not searching for a grand revelation, and she's not unpacking existential philosophy. She's watching her show, sleeping when she's tired, and choosing who gets access, which is pretty much no one. She's protecting her space. And honestly, there's something profoundly spiritual about that. Maybe dying doesn't always look like candles and whisper epiphanies. Maybe sometimes it looks like call me after the episode, keep it short, and I'm good. And maybe it just looks like normal life. And maybe, just maybe, that's the point. Yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Short, sweet, kind of cute, fun. Of course, you can find my work here at YouTube, X, and Substack. Findingrealm.com. Like, share, subscribe, put a comment, be nice in the comments. Death is a very touchy topic for everybody, so this is a good time to just practice active listening. Other than that, enjoy your day. We'll see you soon.